Tyler. Why a SPAC and why now?
Hey, Emily, thanks for having me today. Well, as we can see with the news across the space today, there is increasing adoption of the Bitcoin network. And that's from everyone that are actually large institutional investors to institutional service providers. There's a lot of news going on in the space and rapidly increasing adoption. And with that, we think the infrastructure that underpins the network also needs to become more robust and more institutionalized. And that's what we're doing. We are a large scale Bitcoin miner, and we're coming public via a SPAC because it allows us to move quickly and take advantage of the marketplace.
Now, your parent company, Bitfury, since its inception in 2011, you've mined 600,000 Bitcoin. How many more are you planning? And talk to us about the scale of demand.
Absolutely. So we have a plan for Cipher specifically to build out our facilities to be mining over 21,000 Bitcoin per annum in 2025. And we begin mining this year and we scale up year over year as we go. One of the great advantages we have is partnering with Bitfury, our parent. There's really no one with more experience in the space, having set up over seven data centers around the globe, had them operating and mining over 600,000 Bitcoin. It speaks to their experience at deployment, operating and maintaining Bitcoin mining centers. And so we are doing it at a very large scale, and we have unique advantages by partnering with them both on the services and the equipment side.
Now, part of why people think Bitcoin is valuable is because of the fixed number of coins that could be mined, 21 million of them. I know people have said, oh, that is a long way off, but it could come sooner than we think if companies like you keep moving quickly. What happens when we run out of the 21 million, or could that number rise?
Well, the number's not going to rise. It's fixed in the software, and we actually do have some time to get to the last one. We've got over 100 years, but most of them will be mined in the next 20 years. Keep in mind, we are not going to speed up that schedule. But as you see increasing adoption by institutional users, we would anticipate that is going to drive the price higher. We think that transaction fees are also a piece of revenue, obviously, that we will be collecting as being part of the vital infrastructure that helps it grow. I mean, keep in mind, today the estimates are that there are about 100 million users of the Bitcoin network. We think that could easily grow to billions of users in the coming years, and that's going to drive the price and usage of the network up. And you need, you want the network to be robust to support that continued growth, and that's really what we can bring.
So let's talk about the price. Mike Novogratz thinks it'll get to 50,000 beyond. Talking about another CEO I was speaking with thinks it's going to go to infinity, Mars, and beyond. But give me a number.
I saw that. That was great. I think it's really hard to predict the short-term path of prices, but I do believe over time, and I think everyone that is involved in Cipher and Bitfury believes over time the price is going to go up. It can be volatile in the short term, but if you see continued network adoption, you'll see price appreciation over the long term. The great thing about our business model is we are the classic picks and shovels business. The price of Bitcoin can drop quite a bit, and we can still have a very profitable company. We really do provide the infrastructure that makes it work, and we have the lowest cost of power, or we are at the low end of the global cost curve, and that enables us to be very profitable and withstand volatility in the price.
I misspoke on Novogratz. He thinks it'll get to 100,000 before the end of the year, then 500,000 beyond that. Your focus is Bitcoin. What's your take on all these other coins, Dogecoin and some of these altcoins, which Novogratz told me he thinks Doge is a joke?
I think Mike's a very sharp guy. Our focus is on Bitcoin mining. That's the only coin that we have in our current plans to support from a mining perspective. There are many interesting things going on in the crypto space, and often very fun to read about or invest in at small scale personally. But our focus from a business perspective is Bitcoin. A uniquely natively digital store of value and value transmission network that's open source is just extremely robust and has the potential to disrupt a lot in financial services. So we are big bulls in the long term. I won't give a specific price target, but up.
What are the biggest risks to your business, though? I mean, obviously, there are many things that are unproven. There's regulation to come. What do you think the biggest headwinds are?
Well, I think they're related to the ecosystem overall. I mean, I've heard folks speculate about the Bitcoin price that, one thing we know for sure is that the terminal value of Bitcoin is not where it is today because there's still risks and questions about adoption. And like any network adoption story, those risks are reflected in the price day to day, and they're discounting a future where perhaps there's billions of users or perhaps there's not. I think we have exposure to those same kinds of risks. We do have a lot of resilience against the drop of price in Bitcoin, but if it goes away, that is a major risk to our business.